Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For this project I'm going to make a mobile paint box. The main reason for that, I've been painting a lot recently and sometimes I have to go to other places to do my painting. And mainly at this stage I'm just lugging everything in a plastic container to take along, which can be quite cumbersome. So I've decided to make a nice paint box so that I can pack everything that I need and help me carry everything to the places that I need to go. I had some pine boards lying around, so I thought this would be ideal to make the paint box out of, since pine is quite a light wood and it's still durable for what I want to do at the end of the day. So as always, after cutting out all the main pieces, I'm flattening every piece here as you can see and getting it nice and smooth. I haven't done dovetails in quite a while with the projects that I've done, so I decided for this one I'm definitely going to do some dovetails. So here I'm marking out all the tails that I want to for each of the sides of the case. After sawing out all the lines, it's time to remove all the waste, as you can see here, using a chisel. Because it's pine, it's quite easy and quick to remove instead of using a coping saw as you typically see in other videos. And I usually like doing this. It's very therapeutic at the end of the day. I decided for this project I'll be a little bit fancy and make half-flat dovetails instead of straight-through dovetails. It creates a bit of extra work, but I usually like the end result. It looks a little bit neater. To remove the waste for the pins for half-lap dovetails is usually more involved than for straight-through dovetails, but at the end of the day I like the results more, even if it takes a little bit longer. After removing the majority of waste for the pins, it's now time to clean up each one and make it sure it's nice and smooth to accept the tails. And after some further cleaning and testing, here you can see I'm demonstrating just dry fitting a piece. Even as a dry fit, it is nice and sturdy, as you can see here. And with glue, it will basically be quite impossible to move. I'm going to add a little slide panel for the inside of the box where I'm going to store other stuff. So here I'm making a groove that I will put in an extension that will accept the slide panel. Instead of having a square box at the end of the day, I decided to actually extend a little bit of a wood on top of the sides and then add this little detail on each side, just to make it a little bit more interesting and visual. I'm going to add pins on the inside of the box and the bottom. This will just be a quick way to make dividers inside the box to hold certain stuff so they don't slide around as I'm moving the box or carrying it at the end of the day. Before gluing the side parts of the box, I just installed the hinges here and relieved them so that the lid will have a nice and smooth finish. And with that being said, now it's time to fully glue up all the side pieces of the box. For the bottom part of the box, I decided to cheat a little bit. I have a lot of masonite lying around, so I decided to use that. To make the sliding box, or the parts for it, I'm ripping up panels here to make the sides. Whilst gluing up the sides for the sliding box, I'm just checking here if the inside is square enough, using my measuring stick. If both diagonals are the same, it means that the inside of the box is square enough. For the sliding box, I'm also adding a divider or just gluing it in and using the plane here just to add some weight to it at the end of the day. For the bigger compartment of the sliding box, I'm going to add this lid that you'll be able to lift up and down and also store items underneath it. It's mainly going to be used for my brushes at the end of the day. Here I'm busy making the little handle for the lid I just showed, just making it a little bit more fancier than it needs to be. Because I'm going to use the little handle I just showed frequently to lift up the lid here, I'm adding some screws to the bottom of it because I'm not sure the glue will be sufficient at the end of the day. To help carry the box at the end of the day, I'm not going to install handles per se, but I'm going to install rope handles, as I will show later on in the video. Here are just the holes I'm drilling so long for that. I spray painted the box with enamel black paint, as I know from past experience it's quite sturdy and also sort of waterproof at the end of the day. After that's been done, I'm now busy installing all the hardware on the box, as you can see here with the lid. And then also after that, I'm now installing for the front piece of the lid, just in order to keep it secured and not to be springing open when I'm carrying it. For the bottom of the box, I'm just adding these little soft padding feet, so it will just lift it up from the floor and also to be soft to be sliding around on the floor at the end of the day. This is the rope handle that I've talked about earlier. Here I'm just installing it to all the end pieces of the box, making knots so that it doesn't pull out at the end of the day. After cutting off the ends, I'm just applying some super glue to the ends of the cut. This is to ensure that the rope won't unravel over time. For the middle part, or rather the top part of the rope handles, I just wrapped around some twine. That will be basically the handle that I will use, so either for your hands or to wrap over your shoulder. I'm just applying some watered down glue just to make sure, once again, it will stay in place and not unravel over time. Here is the sliding box also completed and spray painted black with enamel oil paint. I'm just showing a demonstration of typically how I would use it. So the small compartment is typically that I will use for the oil paints that I want to take along. It's not supposed to house all my oil paints. However, if I want to, I can put that in the bottom of the case. But for the top part, as I'm showing here, it will be oil paints and then the brushes. For the brushes, I must still get clip-on holders, but that I will do later on. But just to show here, brushes can be on the top or on the bottom part as well as on the top part. And here is the little box now completed with the rope handles as shown before. And as can be seen for the bottom part of the carry case, I've added the compartments there to help secure the mineral spirits as well as to pack some other stuff that I want to, as I'm showing here. So once everything is packed into the bottom of the box, I can just add the sliding box on top of that, or take it out if I want to, as shown here. And now that everything is loaded into the box, I'm just demonstrating here how I will carry it. So I want to use it to sling it over my shoulder because I will probably carry other stuff in my hands. So with this method, it will be much easier to carry around. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in another project. Have a nice day. Cheers!